Hello, welcome back to another video tutorial here at GeekatPlay Studios. My name's Gary Miller. We're going to be finishing up our racetrack today, and this is where we left off with so far, and it's pretty crude, but that's the intention of our progress so far. We're certainly not finished. So in continuing on, I'm going to select this outer edge. I'm going to loop it, come up here to lines, and click on curve extraction. And I'm going to scale this out a little bit, like so. Now, it's going to be difficult if we want this outer curve here to be a solid object, and we've got this inner portion here. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select points. I'm just going to delete them. And I will drag all four of these down, even them out, and I will click on close curve. Now it will close that curve off for me, and I suppose you could create this to be any profile that you wanted, you know, perfectly round or square, but I'm just going to stick with this basic profile here. Okay, we've deleted about 5, 6, or 7 of these points, so it's going to create problems for us when we try to make a solid object out of it and then connect it to the racetrack that we have so far. So we've got a little patchwork to do, but if all goes well, it's pretty easy work. So first thing I'm going to do is, with my curve selected, I'm going to come up here to Vertex Modeling and Fast Extrude, and I'm just going to extrude inward until I'm just about touching my points here. I want a little bit of an offset. Validate that. Okay. Let me come over here to Select Object, click on my curve. I don't need my curve anymore. Okay, with both my objects I'm going to hit Control A to select both of them and come over here to Weld and weld them together. Come over here to Select Points. Right click and do a group selection around both of those points. I'm going to come up here to Weld Points, which is, I don't know what the default shortcut is, but I set mine to W, so I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Now, it welds those 2 points together. If I use my left mouse button and click to select another point, it will connect those 2 points to that new one that I just selected, and I don't want that. Instead, what I want to do is use my right mouse button, draw a selection around both of those 2 points, and now I can continue working all the way around here and welding those points together. There we are. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Okay, now here, let me validate that. Now here is where we're going to run into some slight problems. You see the geometry, we don't have enough points here, or an odd number of points in order to connect everything. Well, there's several workarounds, and let's try one of them and see how successful we are with one. I'll select that inner group, those inner edges, loop them, and under lines, curve extraction. And I can always come over here to Surface Modeling, Coon Surface, and make that a solid surface, but it didn't work out very well. So let me undo that. Instead, let's try Vertex Modeling, Sweep Surface, and close that, close all, yeah. Select the top, Shift plus to expand that selection, delete it. Now, there we go. Now we've got a solid surface here for grass or whatever you want it to be. And let's, oops, I did not want to do that. select that, Shift A, delete, Control A, select everything, weld that together. Now, what I want to do is just to have a good construction of my mesh here. I'm just going to select these points here and join them together by using the free tessellate tool here. And right here where the this little square turns red, that tells me I'm hovered over another point. Now we have no corresponding point on this side, which is okay, because what we'll do is we'll just make one. There we go. Validate that. And up here, I'm not quite sure exactly how to start arranging this, but let's start here. Select points. There we are. And right where it turns red, there we go. Stretch across. Validate that. Now what I want to do is I will connect these 2 points right up here. Ideally, what I want to try to do is make sure that all of my polygons are four-sided. That ultimately provides for the best geometric layout. So I'm going to, so the points are enabled. We've got a problem here already. Let me zoom in here. We've got a slight, I don't know what's going on here. Let me move this pointer away. Let me connect this point here to there. Okay, the last one we need to work on is this beast here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-sided polygon. And that some programs don't like n-gons, which are essentially polygons that have more than 4 sides. I think that also applies to 3-sided polygons, but my understanding and my experience is 4-sided polygons are always the best. You'll have fewer problems. So let's try to make all of these polygons here 4-sided as best we can, providing we don't run into trouble. So let's come over and use our free tessellate. Free tessellate, there we are. And if we drag up to there, we'll have a 4-sided polygon. Four-sided polygon. And a 4-sided polygon. There we are. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, now all I've done is transferred this 7-sided one over to here, because now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, let's split this across the middle here. This is perhaps what, no, I'm going to run into the same problem again. Well, we'll do this. We will select here, 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 and join it there. And let's do the same thing over here. There, 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 click, there, and there. And validate that. Okay. It doesn't look a whole lot like much yet, but we're still working with it. Okay, Now we're going to run into some problems when we try to smooth it. Let's try one level of smoothing, and you see this inner area here is getting all corrupted, and so that's going to create some problems. So let's undo our smoothing. What I want to do is delete that polygon, and let's try smoothing it now. That's looking a little bit better. Let's try 2 levels of smoothing, and that's looking good. Because we maintained a point-to-point conversion of this outer ring to the inner one, we don't have a lot of polygons colliding into one another. But the inside here, we've got some problems. So that's not a big deal. We can work with that. And before I fix that, let's create a domain here. Let me select the actual racetrack, create a domain again, and let's create a new color, and we'll make it darker. There we are. Okay, I will add 2 levels of smoothing to this. Actually, 1 level of smoothing to this. I'll go ahead and hit my lightning bolt to commit that level of smoothing. Now to solve the problem of this inner shape, I'll just select an inner edge. I will loop it, lines, curve extraction, and then come over here, vertex modeling, sweep surface, and I'll do what I demonstrated earlier. Just extrude it upwards or sweep it upwards and close it off. Select the top, Shift plus, delete that, delete those selections, and now I have a nice inner shape that doesn't provide any modeling problems. So Control A to select everything. Weld all those together. Now I'm going to come over here to my domain, and by clicking on my domain it automatically enables that selection. Now I can do one of many things. I can raise it up, lower it down. I think I'll leave it flat because for an actual racetrack they are rather flat except for the curves. I guess like NASCAR has high banking curves. I forget what they're called. So I will raise, actually I should be using points instead of edges. Points instead of edges. There we are. Now let's raise those up a little bit. Over here, select those points and we'll raise those up a little bit. And let's come here to our outside. And we will raise these up as well. Select these in ones and just raise them up slightly. These could probably come up a little bit more. Again, this is really not the finished product, but basically showing you how you can go about making a method of modeling a racetrack. And now if we add another level of smoothing to it, we still got this problem with the inner area, so we're going to have to delete that again. Probably better just to wait until this whole thing is finished before we do that, before we create that inner area. Okay, let's select that domain that we created. Maybe lower it down just a let's raise it up just a little bit. Now you would probably want to add more subdivisions along the outside here, providing that the geometry allows for it. and another one here on the inside. And I don't know much about racetracks and how they are shaped, but I'm presuming that if you wanted to undertake a project like this, enough to write in a request, that you would have a good idea how they would be constructed. So let's click off of this and see what our racetrack looks like. It's pretty crude, but it gives you the idea on how to go about creating one. So I hope this helps you and answers some of your questions and helps you get started in creating a racetrack here in Hexagon. And I wish Hexagon had some of the robust modeling tools that some of the other programs out there have, but I'm still holding out hope and waiting for Hexagon to be updated in the near future. And so that's it for this tutorial series. Thanks for watching here at GeekatPlay Studios. My name's Gary Miller. Have a good day.